time.
Oh, man. I got in the car last night. I went back to the hotel. I woke up today. I said, it's over. I called my wife. She said, get home. It's over. I got on the plane. I sat down, and I said, I ain't leaving home.
Wait a minute. We're in boxing for a second.
I ain't going home. You jackass.
And I know in the past couple weeks, because I haven't been here, this program's ratings have gone down. Well, don't worry. I'm not Bobby Horner. And when you want to bring your program up, Bill Blanchard here to do it. When I get there, you're going to find out once and for all. Woo! We've only just begun, you understand? Learn to love it, learn to live with it. Diamonds are forever, and so is Bill Blanchard.
Deathlock Productions is proud to present The Shootout with Bill Blanchard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Wrestling Shootout. Hey, I am your host, Survivor of Pain, Bill Blanchard here. I am back with a new particular week. I got a new guest on my show. You know, guys, I know I said last week I'm getting Josh Pascal, a.k.a. Damian Sick, on the show so he can respond to what Caleb Kitchens and that jackass Chris Dickens had to do on the last podcast show, the unedited version. Well, you know, today I wanted to bring back Christian Fury for one reason only. So much controversy happened at the September 22nd, 2018 UCW show involving the UCW Heavyweight Championship. And there's been some few little political issues here going on backstage here at the UCW, and I want to address a couple of things. There are a lot of creative differences and creative directions, and what exactly is UCW really all about, and what they're all about in pushing Hunter Young, what's the situation going on with T Cash and Justin Chambers, and the guy who first won the Heavyweight Championship, the guy who claims this is his kingdom, the first UCW Heavyweight Champion. I'm talking about Christian Fury here. Christian Fury, welcome back on the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just doing a little bit of work right now.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Sometimes I just got to be able to do a show whenever I get a chance to do the show. I got a little bit more free time on my hands right now, so I'm going to jump right into it, though. The last meeting you had on September 22nd, 2018, if you would recall, it was the anniversary of Bill Goldberg making his debut on Monday Night Nitro, September 22nd, 1997, defeating Hugh Morris. And here you are today, on your birthday, and no other, an opportunity to become the champion. You came up a little bit short in that match. You didn't quite get the job done, but the thing that most people are talking about, or I mean people are talking about, other commentators, other spectators in the wrestling crowd, the one thing that we just had a hard time understanding is, you know, it just seemed like you were standing on one leg, being carried to the back by Dead Reckoning, and Hunter Young acted like Mighty Mouse here. You know, we all call him, you know, a guy probably couldn't get a job as a used car salesman here. I'll talk about Hunter Young here, who acted like you didn't do a thing to him in that last man standing match. This guy went to a freaking table. You clocked him in his jaw with a chain wrapped around your fist. And unless Hunter Young really is Superman, he was exposed to kryptonite back when that meteor shower hit back in 1999, the year Smallville debuted on the WB network. I don't know. You tell me. What's up with Hunter Young as the UCW champion, and how do you feel about him as a UCW champion?
Well, from a personal standpoint, you know, I think he's a good kid, a good hand. I see a lot of potential in him. But as far as that storyline goes, I mean, we've already discussed it in the back, but I'm going to give you a little bit of the details. He was talked to about it, because one thing in the wrestling business that you got to do, you got to sell your opponent. You got to be able to sell your opponent on what's going on. You got to sell what happened to you, regardless if it was a little 5-minute match or 30-minute match. You got to be able to sell the beating that you just took inside that ring. And with the stakes that was added, with it being a last man standing match, going through tables, getting steel chairs wrapped around your carcass and everything like that, and for you to pop up at the end of it after both men were counted out, for a count of 10, it kind of kills it.
Well, yeah, he got up there and cut one hell of a promo, and I started looking in your face. You're being carried back by Dead Reckoning. You were kind of looking pissed off in disbelief. Do you think Hunter Young decided to go into business for himself and to do a legitimate shoot against you?
Honestly, no. But I think it was adrenaline, the crowd, you know, him feeding into this feud. I think there was a mixture of things. I don't think he was honestly thinking about the selling part after the match was over. You know, I think that's what it boiled down to.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. And the reason why I'm saying bullshit on that, in the independent wrestling scene and all over the professional wrestling world since the beginning of time when wrestling took as entertainment, you know, the veterans of professional wrestling have been accused of beating up the young and up-and-coming talent. But at the same time, you know, we all know what happened with Damian Sick and Justin Hollywood. At the same time, you know, you've had young upcomers not paying no freaking homage or respect to the veterans who helped pave the way for them to even be wrestlers. I mean, where would they be at if guys like you had busted your ass, did what you could to help put this company on the map, get this guy a stage to perform on, you know, and he tried to show you up out there. I mean, that's got to hit you a little bit, man. Let me be honest. I mean, you were the first ever UCW heavyweight champion. The guy was called Lord of Hardcore. You're part of this vicious gang known as Dead Reckoning. My question is, why did Dead Reckoning go out there and beat the crap out of Hunter Young like Dead Reckoning beat the crap out of Hollywood? What's the story on that?
Well, all about showmanship, I guess, man.
I mean, you repeatedly screwed Justin Chambers in that big feud you had with him. You did whatever you could to hold on to the championship. But in that kind of situation, it almost seemed like the crowd, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it seemed like the crowd, you were winning the crowd over in that match. I didn't really see you do a whole lot of heel tactics. You were being you. You were being this vicious monster beast, but it just seemed like you were a little bit off that day. I didn't quite see that killer instinct in your eyes. I mean, I saw nervousness. Yeah, I saw nervousness. I saw the butterflies. I mean, when you're taking on a young lion, because you being the old lion, you know, you're taking on a young lion, a 22-year-old, an upcoming guy's got a bright future. I mean, hey, I'm gonna call it like I see it. Hunter Young has a lot of talent, a lot of charisma. The fans like him, the girls like him. That man's got a future in professional wrestling. But you, as Christian Fury, are you that guy still trying to hold on to that spot? You're gonna do what you got to do to hold on to that spot. I mean, what's really going on in your head?
What's really going on in my head is I want to give this kid a run for his money. I want to prove that I can still hang with these quote-unquote new guys, these kids, these young talent that are still up and coming, that I'm still relevant, that I can still hang. Now, the day that I can't hang is the day I need to put it up.
Well, put it up as you will. We all know that the October show coming up, you know, as highly anticipated. The match is coming up. You're going to be taking on in a I Quit match. Now, let's be honest with me here. Do you really think Hunter Young has the guts, the balls, this backbone for men to do whatever it takes to get you to say the words you have never said in your entire career? I mean, I followed your career. You've been hit with trucks. Like some people. I've seen you go through tables. I've seen you knocked out of trees, knocked off top of roof. And I'm not making this shit up. Look it up on AWF YouTube TV. I've seen you go through a beating after beating after beating. Hell, you tore your NCACL in a tag team title match once and still came back 10 months later to become champion of the world. Obviously, there is absolutely no quit inside of you. You are a beast. You are a hard competitor in professional wrestling. Now you got this young freaking kid with all the talent in the world, but he doesn't have what you have. Guts, testament of fortitude. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to freaking say? Are you going to say I quit? Or are you going to let this kid outshine you, man? Come on, say something.
The only way I'm going to say those words is if he beats it out of me and tears my limbs off one by one.
I have seen your limbs break. I have seen your skull cracked open. I have seen you bit a chunk of your tongue off before the match, okay? I saw Chris Dickens one time put jumper cables to your nuts and fried them, and you didn't say I quit. What will Hunter Young have to do to get you to say you were backed up by Ghost Runner, your Ford pickup truck? Let's don't forget about that. Hell, did in 2002, did or not, Chris Dickens break your neck and set you on fire, and you came back 7 months later from the dead and whooped his ass? Yeah. I mean, let's tell the truth here. What will Hunter Young do to you that has not already been done before to get you to say those words, I quit?
Well, honestly, it sounds like I'm walking in with the advantage, don't I?
Well, damn sure you're walking in the advantage. Yeah. But what are you going to do to make this kid say I quit? This kid has not been tested yet, has he or has he not?
No, he has not.
This kid has not had to have a rib bone sticking out of his stomach, okay? This kid didn't have his teeth knocked out while yours got knocked out, okay? I mean, literally, does Hunter Young, what chance does Hunter Young really have to defeat Christian Fury with the rules as it states to make your opponent say, I quit? I mean, Hunter Young has got talent. He can fly in that ring. He's a great technical wrestler. I enjoy his matches. But does this guy have what it takes to do what no one, no man, no mortal man has ever done will make Christian Fury say, I quit?
I don't think he's got it in him. I honestly don't. I don't think he has what it takes to make me say those words.
Well, what are you going to do to him to make him say those words, I quit? You going to run him over with a truck? You going to pour gasoline on his back and light a match? What are you going to do? You bringing your box of tools? You bringing a kitchen sink? Are you bringing jumper cables? You bringing a shovel for a grave? It's Halloween, baby. What are you going to do to make this man scream the words, I quit?
Now, if I'm going to sit here and give away all my little tricks of the trade, it wouldn't be much of a match now, would it?
Oh, quit bullshitting this here, Fury. Tell us the freaking truth. Are you gonna break this man in half? Where you gonna? Are you coming in the ring with a chainsaw? You gonna handcuff him to the post? Come out with that damn chainsaw, trying to saw this bitch in half? If he didn't say I quit, what are you really gonna do?
There's so many things I could possibly do to make him utter those famous words, but it's only gonna take one. I just got to find out what his pain threshold really is. And would it be the thumbtacks that I'm going to be bringing? Would it be the tables that I'm going to put him through? Or the steel chairs, repeated shot after shot after shot?
So what you're telling me is you're going to break Bret the Hitman's heart record with 18 chair shots to Vince McMahon's body. Do you plan to give us 20 chair shots to Hunter Young's body?
Only time will tell. Depends on how hard he wants to go and how bad he wants to stay champion. Because I know how bad I want to be champion one more time. Because I don't just want to be champion, I need to be champion.
So if you want to be champion, you need to be champion. You need to defeat Hunter Young. Well, I have one question for you. Dead Reckoning is recognized as one of the toughest top wrestling gangs here in the CSRA. Okay, let's call it like we see it. Dead Reckoning runs like a pack of wolves, a pack of thugs. When you fight one, you fight all of them. Does Dead Reckoning have any plans at all to get involved in this match?
Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Should Hunter Young have eyes in the back of his head?
Hunter Young should always expect the unexpected.
Well, let me ask you this question here. Does Dead Reckoning, because rumor innuendo out there has told me this, and I cannot reveal my sources. I'm going to tell you like this. I told everybody in the world, I'm going to ask the toughest questions here. Does Dead Reckoning plan on kidnapping, yes, I did say kidnapping, a member of Hunter Young's family and hold them for ransom for Hunter Young to say I quit, so once again Christian Fury be crowned the undisputed heavyweight champion? Will Dead Reckoning go that low? Will they do whatever it takes to win a war?
Boy, I tell you, if we're going to do something like that, honestly, we wouldn't have told anybody. We would have just done it.
Well, let me ask you this question here. All kind of rumors in the window. I'm getting flooded with questions even right now as I speak. Okay, now let me ask you this question here. Okay, Hunter Young is a good-looking, upstanding kid, is he not? A handsome young man. The girls love him. He has a future. He has that pretty boy Ken doll face, if you would. What are your response to this right here? Okay, I mean, let's face it, Fury. You know, you're ugly as shit, dude. Okay, you don't have to worry about getting even more messed up than you already are. But Hunter Young does. He still has a face. Okay? So are you going to get a cheese grater and grind that freaking face? Are you going to shave his mustache off? Are you going to tie him down the ring, put shaving cream on his head, and shave his head bald until he says, I quit?
Shave his head bald? That would make him say I quit? Well, then again, if he
cares about his looks, if he cares about being a pretty boy, I mean, if he wants to be the future heartbreak kid of the professional wrestling they call UCW, what would you do to this guy?
Well,
I mean, this guy has to go to the club to pick up women, does he not?
I don't know where he goes to go pick up women. That's none of my concern. But I knew we was going to pick up an ass whooping come October 13th. When he utters those sweet, sweet words that everybody wants to hear. Especially me.
Well, Fury, I appreciate your time, but I got to keep asking these questions, man. Okay, I'm gonna go back here a little bit here. Now, T-Cash defeated the guy that beat you for the heavyweight championship. When you lost the UCW Championship to Justin Chambers, you lost 1, 2, 3. 3 taps on the mat when the referee counted it 1, 2, 3. You were defeated. That was it. That was done. Then all of a sudden, T-Cash, a few months later, defeated Justin Chambers to become the heavyweight champion of the world. But yet you, along with other members of Dead Reckoning and a few other guys in the locker room, came out there to wish T-Cash some luck. So it seemed like the whole company got behind T-Cash, where, stamp of approval, if you would. But just for a couple of shows later, Hunter Young's the champion. Now, if you're T-Cash, how would you feel?
I don't know.
I would feel backstabbed, freaking betrayed here. Y'all put the trust in me just because I can't put enough butts in the seats here. You got to depend on a guy who look younger, better looking like Hunter Young? What the hell, dude? I mean, seriously. What are your thoughts on that? And did T-Cash get a rematch?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, that's right, he did. Y'all got a rematch, huh? But still, Hunter Young walked out as champion. How do you sleep at night knowing the fact that this pretty boy, a boy, beats a man?
I don't. I haven't slept in a few months.
So I had a feeling the first meeting go around. Your foot was on the rope. Controversy as it was, Hunter Young still walked in as champion and walked out as champion. I mean, that's got to eat you up at night. You got to look yourself in the mirror and think to myself, my God, I used to be shit. I used to be over. But now, I'm just rolled over. I mean, seriously, man.
The kid didn't beat me, though. My foot was on the ropes clearly before the count of 2.
And professional wrestling, do we have a repeat clause?
We should.
But do we?
No.
Okay, then, so who walked in as champion that night? It was Hunter Young, yes or no? It's not a yes. Who walked out as champion that night? And he's just staring at me, folks. Who walked out as champion that night? Okay, obviously we all know it's Hunter Young, but in the last man standing matchup, you had everything going your way. You had the opportunity to make it right. You should have broken this kid's legs. You should have repeatedly hit this kid in the groin or something. You should have made sure that kid never walked out of here. So what does that say to you? A guy who did everything in this business. You couldn't beat a 22-year-old snot-nosed kid. Hell, when you were kicking ass and harass, he was getting detention in 3rd grade. Now, how does that make you feel? You got outclassed, outshined by a boy.
Wow.
Yes, I said that. You got defeated and outclassed.
I didn't get defeated.
Who walked out as champion? Was it or was it not your goal to walk out of there the undisputed, true king of wrestling of the UCW? Did you win?
I didn't lose.
But you didn't walk out as champion, did you?
Nope.
All right, then. So, at the Halloween is coming up, October 13th, the I Quit match. Are you going to break this kid's brains in until he says I quit? Are you going to pound him until the referee pulls you off? Or what will you do? Because you can't sleep at night. When you lay down at night and put your head on the pillow, you got to be thinking, oh my God, Hunter Young got over me again. What do I got to do to beat this kid? I better bring everything. I better call the 82nd Airborne. Hell, I better call the Marines. I've got to come in everything I've got. I better bring in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Because even then, when you still think you can make a young, talented athlete like Hunter Young, say the words, I quit.
I've done everything except for one thing. And that's to bring the demon out in me. Come October 13th at Halloween Horror, that demon's gonna be unleashed. And he ain't got no place to run, no place to hide. That championship will come back to my kingdom. The sanctuary will be burnt to the ground.
Now, I know your face of last scars and you know, Lord, you've been in the wrestling business for going on 18 years now. You've seen and done a lot of things here. So after you defeat Hunter Young and make him say the words, I quit, or beat him to the point where he just can't continue and the referee stopped the match, do you plan on doing what the Leatherface does? Are you going to cut his face off and put it on your face so you will be a good-looking man?
No, because his face is going to be worse off than mine when I get done.
Ooh, God, I love it when you talk dirty. All right, here. Now let's get serious here, okay? I'm bullshitting here. I'm trying to wake you up here a little bit. I'm trying to piss you off here a little bit. Am I getting close? As you keep walking away here, you keep walking away here. But let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna ask questions that only I've got the guts to answer. And I'm going to ask you a question that even I can't even freaking answer. Because you're not even answering me here. You've been puffing one cigarette one after the other here. You're not even sweating Hunter Young. Are you mean to tell me you're not taking Hunter Young even seriously? I mean, good Lord, dude, you haven't even sweated yet.
Because we've only just begun.
We've only just begun here. Okay, let's get some business talking here going on here. All right. Now, coming up, if you do defeat Hunter Young and once again become the first ever two-time UCW heavyweight champion, or three-time, whatever you are now, you're already two-time champion, right? So you'll be the first ever three-time UCW heavyweight champion. Will there be a rematch? Would you give the world one more time a rematch against Hunter Young, or who you be focused on next? In your eyes right now, who do you consider a top 10? Who would be a threat to Christian Fury's world heavyweight title?
A threat? Really? After Hunter Young gets buried, who's left?
Well, let me ask you this question here. When a couple of times Octane champion like Damian Sick, you know, a guy you've worked with, you competed in the past. This guy's wrestled all over Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. Don't you think he deserves a shot at the heavyweight championship? So at the promoter of the UCW says, Christian Fury, I booked you at the November show against the #1 contender, and it's Damian Sick. What would you do?
I have no problem kicking his ass. We've already done this before. We've had a triple threat match that the freaking promoter put us in, and I came out victorious.
What about Night Stalker?
Same thing. I came out victorious in that triple threat match. So it don't matter. Dead Reckoning will beat the shit out of each other.
What if the Professor David Yell, comes out of retirement and he decides to get in the ring with Christian Fury, will hit some of his political views, and he gets in your face and calls you a conservative piece of shit? What are you going to do to him?
Actually, I'll welcome that day. I'll welcome the day. I want him to come out of retirement so I can shut him up for good.
Any viewpoints of the American Nightmare 6, who was a legendary in the Columbia County area as a multi-time, long-time flatline heavyweight champion? If the American Nightmare 6 were to step on your face right now, spit in your eyeball, and give you one big wet kiss, what would you do?
A wet kiss?
I don't know. I saw two other dudes doing it.
Wow, really? I don't think
you weren't paying attention to the last show, were you, between Damian Sick and the Game Changer, Adrian Davis, did you?
Not at all.
Oh my God! I had to keep blinking. Wait, what the hell are they doing? Anyways, I'll touch base on that later. But let's talk about the Octane champion here, Adrian Davis here. What are the odds of Christian Fury going one-on-one with Adrian Davis involving that championship belt? Champion versus champion. Octane title versus the heavyweight world title. Who would win?
Me.
Obviously. So it'll be game over for the Game Changer.
It'll be game over because I pushed the start button and I pushed the power button.
So you wouldn't need the Game Genie to defeat Adrian Davis?
Not at all. Just need the power plug pulled.
So you wouldn't need no cheat codes on how to defeat the Game Changer, Adrian Davis?
Not at all.
Who does Christian Fury, do you fear anybody in UCW?
Well, there was a time when I can say yes, I did fear a couple of people, but that's been washed away because all I see is my prized possession around the waist of somebody else. That title needs to be with me. I need to be with that title.
Okay, final thoughts here. You're going into the matchup, a trilogy, if you would. Obviously, the two other one-on-one matches, no clear-cut winner was made. I mean, yes, Hunter Young did win the first fall. Controversy, it was pointed out by you. Your foot was on the rope, so technically the referee was paying attention. He would have counted to 3. But bottom line is, You got a last man standing match. Both of y'all could not answer the 10 count, and Hunter Young retained the title automatically here. So now it's go time. It's do or die. We are 2 weeks away from the heavyweight championship of the world for the UCW title. Now tell me once and for all, what is Christian Fury gonna do to Hunter Young?
I'm going to destroy his ever existence.
You heard it here, folks. You hear live on the wrestling shootout. I'm not going to pull no punches. When I ask any kind of damn questions, I want the freaking truth, and I will not rest until I get the undeserving truth. Here we are, professional wrestling here. Join us next week. I've got Damian Sick, and I'm going to ask him all the hard questions on what's his true thoughts, what was really going through his mind when he dropped the Octane Championship to Justin Hollywood. We're going to find out his response, what the Professor David Yale said on that particular podcast that I had, and what Damian Sick feels like, anything going on in professional wrestling. What's the real future of the of Dead Reckoning here? And could he kick Christian Fury's ass? Obviously, Christian Fury says he'll whip his ass. Let's see what's going to happen when I get Damian Sick on the show. Join us next week on the Wrestling Shootout. I'm your host, Survivor Pain, Bill Blanchard, along with Christian Fury. Last thoughts, champ.
Last thoughts? Boy, it would be nice to hold that title one more time and hold it till I decide to give it up.
All right, Hunter Young, if you're out there, God, man, God be with you, sir, because you're going to need it. Because Christian Fury, he is fired up. He's ready to open up the gates of hell and beat the living hell out of a snot-nosed punk like you, which I do have great respect for, kid. You got a lot of talent and a big future ahead of you. But can you dethrone the kingdom of the call of Christian Fury here in professional wrestling? I look forward to see it. I will be there ringside calling it like I see it and like I always do. Until then, we'll see you next time on the Wrestling Shootout on Deathlock Productions.